Hey everybody, it's been a long year and a half since I did one of these, but welcome to the patch 11.1 notes. This is Dirtfish. I'm super excited to be getting back into this. With preseason having been in full swing and things really being a mess, coupled with the fact that it's been a bit longer than normal since we've had a patch. I think it's been an extra week to account for New Year's. We're looking at what's probably going to be a big doozy of a patch since this is now moving on to the real season. I'm hoping to see a lot of things. I'm largely looking to see item balance changes much more so than champions, but I'm curious to see what we get regardless. So let's jump right into it. So during the middle of the patch, it looked like we had some changes made. I remember seeing a lot of Ivern this coming patch, but really I'm not concerned with a whole lot of this. Looks like we have a lot of bug fixes, so let's just look. Okay, Fiddlesticks. W cooldown. Okay, yeah, I can see that. Fiddlesticks has felt really easy to play in the jungle currently. His ganks are obviously still kind of lackluster pre-6 without setup, but the champion clears really fast and can sometimes just hyper-clear harder than you. I don't really know if this is going to matter that much. Initially, an extra second might matter. It might make us clear another 10 seconds longer on first to clear. But because it's a second to all ranks, I don't think it's going to be super impactful. We're still going to see about as much Fiddlesticks as expected. What I will say is this will make it so that his fights, especially extended ones, might be harder, and he'll probably lose some 1v1s that he might have otherwise won because he might not get the second W off in time. Alright, Gnar. Yes. Okay, Gnar really does need some help right now. I've seen him played a couple of times. The champion feels super atrocious to play. Obviously in ARAM, the champion's just really fun to play because you get all these free engage opportunities, but right now Gnar doesn't stick hard enough to these hypermobile champions, especially given all of the new options that Gnar has. I mean, not that Gnar has, that champions have for mobility. Between Prowler's Claw and, what's the name of the, Gale Force, even Stridebreaker. Those are all dashes that make it harder for Gnar to stick on targets and do his job. I'm looking forward to seeing what we've done here. Because the sticking power is just really hard to... Yes, yeah, so he can have more impact beyond just hopping in and casting his ultimate. Yeah, that's pretty much how it feels to play Gnar right now. So Q, let's see, his Q in Mega is getting... Wow! Wait, it had 5 base damage? Are you kidding me? Okay, well, that's actually kind of impactful, especially because you max Q first, so that's good. E, okay... Oh, it's a range increase by 75. That's actually really good. That means that if Gnar jumps again, or if he doesn't use his hop to engage, it's going to be really strong. E, hop, attack speed duration. Cool. Okay, I really like this. This does make Gnar a little stickier. I think more so, though. This is just going to make him better at what he does already, which is... I don't think that they actually have changed a whole lot. The slow is nice. I think that the damage might actually matter more, but the extra 15% slow, it is twice the slow at level 1. But I think that because of how it is, it's not going to matter quite as much. But I do think that the increased range on Big Jump is going to matter a lot. So, no, this is great. This is great. I'm really excited to see this. I also do like seeing the attack speed duration on the hop change, because that's probably going to let him weave in 1 to 2 more autos in fights where he's jumping at enemies as mini Gnar. So that's cool. This is cool. I like the Gnar change. I don't know if it's going to matter, because Gnar right now is not getting played because he doesn't suit the game right now, but I think that this is a step in the right direction, and they are looking at problems that he has and trying to fix them. I just don't know if this will matter. Karma, E-Shield increase... stop buffing this champion, man. I'm so tired of seeing her. It's not that Karma's strong right now. I actually don't think that Karma's all that great right now. With preseason. But Karma was like really oppressive and abusive in for most of last season. And I got really tired of seeing her, so... While I understand why they're doing this, I'm gonna hope that this isn't very impactful. Uh, I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, so this is late game. This is late game scaling on the shield. Karma doesn't stay strong in late unless she's building full tank, so I guess I'm okay with this. I'll have to play it to see and see it played, but I don't know if it really matters. But I definitely know for sure that Karma's not getting played in my games right now, and I'm happy about that. That being said, this is probably going to be somewhat impactful for support Karma, but probably not. I feel like a lot of Karmas that I see in support max Q, which means that you're probably not maxing E until mid game, where an extra 40 damage might matter, but probably not. We'll see. Don't think the Karma change means all that much comparatively, but she also probably needed a less of a nudge than Gnar did. Okay, Q, cooldown, increased later. Alright, this is good. I know that when I watch LS's notes run down later, he's going to say that Yi is already trash and doesn't need nerfs. But in normal games and in lower elo, and even in like middle elo right now, really, basically outside of coordinated competitive and super high elo, he is kind of a monster right now. Between his Q, between his Q and Duskblade, the champion can just kind of run through teams at 3 items. And obviously that's like the entire point of the champion, but Yi can run through. Yi usually wants you to dedicate like most of the goal on your team to him to do that. Whereas Yi can be behind fairly heftily at 3 items and still run your whole team down because he's invisible or queuing. So I'm okay with this change. I've really liked playing Yi in this season, but I don't like playing him with this playstyle, and I don't think this will change the way that I play him, which is building like lifesteal or attack speed, basically the more classic way of playing Master Yi. But I will say this, I don't know if this is going to be enough to really hurt him in viability, because it's only a 2-second cooldown, which is an extra auto that he has to land in a fight. Which, I mean, if he's trying to literally 1v5 will matter, but if he's fighting in a team fight at 3 items, he's probably going to be able to land an extra auto or 2 before having to queue again. So E nerf is good for the elo that it's targeted at. Might be a little weak for it, but I worry about making him unplayable outside of like gold platinum, like above that, if you go too hard on it. And he's actually viable right now, so I like seeing a champion like Yi, like a hyper carry like that. But a lot of people probably don't because he's not high skill. So I like this Yi nerf, even if I like playing him. It's going to be good for the middle elo, like middle to low elo. So that's good. Pantheon, simple adjustment, as Pantheon's just had too strong. I can see that. Pantheon's felt really strong in pretty much every role that I've gotten to play him in. I have only one I've not tried him in is top. Well, I guess AD, but basically I've played him in support, mid, and jungle at this point, and the champion just feels really strong. So he probably does. Let's see. So his W, empowered AD scaling, yeah, that's fine. And health regen. Is that just one? Yeah, okay. So I think that the health regen nerf matters less. I think that the W hitting a little less hard matters. This is a really light touch-up. This is meant, I think, to make it so that, again, this is pushing Pantheon towards really needing to play a bruisery playstyle with the mini rework that they gave him a couple patches ago. I like seeing it, but I'm gonna need to see more if we're looking to make Pantheon not be really strong. But he is still, like, Pantheon is an incredibly good pick if you need that kind of free engage, especially in mid lane right now. If you are wanting AD, or if you want basically a free engage and don't want to play Lissandra, then play Panth, press W, flash W somebody, and then get a free kill with your jungler. Kiana, base health regen attack damage increase. Okay, what's the AD? 2 AD, health regen. The health regen, is it just 8.5? Okay, I think that might matter for her in mid. I think those are mid lane changes. I think the 2 AD doesn't really matter in mid that much. It matters a little bit, but not like a ton. But I think that the health regen might matter a lot because that means that obviously early she's still gonna get pushed around in lane, but that means that she's actually gonna be able to like take short trades and not just be incredibly behind for the entire time. I like seeing these health regen changes in lanes because they really do impact your staying power in a lane a lot more than you would think they do. So that's cool. That's cool. Q cost now in a good way. Okay, in a good way. Yeah, Rise is kind of poop right now, and that's what they get for changing him from the way that he was. No, I'm just fine. I'm still salty about the Rise rework where they made him brain dead, but as far as it goes, this is probably a good change. Rise, especially with the new tier, not giving as much max mana. It's a rough time to try to play Rise right now, so he does need buffs, but I'd really rather see a reversion to what he was with the W root and having to press E twice and things like that. So, overall though, this is probably a good change. I don't think it's gonna make him not complete garbage to play right now. I think that Rise is not in a good spot. His itemization path is bad for the game. Is like bad for him playing in the game. He doesn't he scales really well, but he's too slow. And I'm not talking about most people. I'm talking about like he literally does things too slowly in the game right now. Game's really snowbally, and Rise wants to make the game last as long as possible. So overall, I mean this is a fine change. I don't think it changes enough. I think Rise is still gonna have trouble. And overall, an extra 2 mana per cast at level 2. I mean at like level 4, or an extra 4 per cast at level 5. Like you're gonna end up getting what one? I think you're gonna get like one spell cast every 10th sling. This doesn't matter all that much. So. Xayah, E cooldown and cost decrease. Xayah buffs, please. Thank you. Champion would be super fun to play right now with Gale Force. But feels really hard to play because she just doesn't have the power that she needs compared to other champions. Making it so that you don't have to max E. I wonder if the 2 seconds off of it will make it so that you don't have to max E and you can max W or Q. Probably W. Because obviously 2 seconds matters, but that could mean that you might not need to max it early, or like maybe you can put points into W until you get ulti and then max E, something like that. That way you can absolutely just sit on the extra 2 seconds of cooldown and have more direct combat power. I think this might open her up to options where she doesn't max E. This is really cool. And I'm super intrigued to see if this changes like her max order, how she builds, her play rate. This, I don't know if it's an impactful buff because it's what people have been tending to max first, but if it changes what she maxes first, then this goes from being like negligible to like super awesome impactful. The 10 mana is also nice because if I remember correctly, Xayah struggles with mana, but for sure I think the 2 seconds early matters because that means at level 3 you get to root 2 seconds faster, and that's basically her trade window is, do I have E up, yes or no? So looking forward to seeing if this changes anything about how she plays, builds, levels, etc. But hopefully the answer is yes. Yasuo, we're giving both brothers stronger 2-item power spike. Let's give them the 100%. Okay, so what's this mean? Intent bonus crit strike damage. Decreasing their overall. General crit power strike. Also clarifying the access crit strike chance to bonus ID conversion and the filter for easier comprehension. Okay, so they're gonna get 100 crit off of 2 items. And just looking at this. Yeah, okay. Basically, this lets them itemize and play around crit items the way that they used to, where they can build, like, 2 crit items and then build, like, sustain, or they can build 2 crit items and then build, like, tanky items or something like that. So this opens up their builds a lot more. Like, maybe Yone can pick up, like, a lethality item earlier, or Yasuo can pick up QSS or some other like skirmisher type item, or like maybe Yasuo gets to go into Sterix now or something like that. Like this will open up their itemization a lot more because they're not having to fight to get that 100 crit. So this is cool. This is cool. I like this a lot. Champion base stat cleanup. We've cleaned up some champions base stats over the years and are rounding out the remaining 99. Lord. Okay, everything's rounded nearest one on those. Okay, that's fine. I don't really care. Archangels, the buffs to tier, help tier friendly change cost. We're still looking to. Yeah. This one in particular sucks. Archangels is terrible. Man Immune. I'm curious to see what they do with that, but Archangels feels really crap to build right now. So Tear of the Goddess, Amp Tome, and Needlessly Large Rod. Do you get more stats? Yeah. Okay, you get the 5 extra AP, and then all AP percentage from mana. I mean, I guess I need to compare back and forth between the two. I think that this does overall nerf the item. What? Does it not? Yeah, no, this definitely feels like a nerf. Actually, no. I'm thinking about this in context of Rise specifically. I think this is actually probably going to be a buff in the end. Maybe. When we get to Seraphs, let me scroll down to Seraphs. Let me see what Seraphs does. Unless it just doesn't have a specific... Okay, Archangel's still a bad item. Don't build it unless you're Rise or Cass. Or somebody that really is that mana hungry. Build the tier. Tier's great. Don't build the Archangels. Just sell it later for, like, any other item. Build it, Oh, what's the name of the item? Blue armor, whatever it is. Build the armor mana item. Frozen Heart. There we go. Yeah, build Frozen Heart instead. Just get tanky and still have oodles of mana. Anyway, don't listen to me. On champions that want to build Archangels, you're still probably going to build the item. It's probably going to be overall functionally improved for everybody who isn't Rise. But I think that I think that in general, it's still not... It's still not an item that you really want to build on anybody. Like, oh man, this is a cool option. It's not like this one that I'm going to get to, but it is better, so... Yo, Lucidity Boots getting buffed. Please. Dude, I love Lucidity Boots this season, what? Although I guess I play a lot of champions that like the Lucidity, especially GP. But seeing an extra 5 ability haste, I don't really know what that translates to in terms of like what you're getting in CDR extra, but I do know that an extra 5 is going to feel really nice. That's like half of what some full legendary items gives you. So this is good. This is good. I like this change. It's not going to get bought more, I don't think, because the champions that are buying them generally are going to continue to buy them. The champions that aren't are still going to buy like Mobies or Swifties, or they're going to buy the tank boots or Zerker's Greaves, etc. But I think that for the champions who like building Lucidity or are willing to consider it, they might be willing to consider it even more now. Or this might make champions that would be on the fence one way or the other swing this way more. So this is good. I like the Lucidity Boots change. Mana Immune and Mirror Mana have begun to heavily influence Poison item choices. Value for relative cost has made it almost always the best second item choice. Yeah. Are they nerfing Mana Immune? Dang it. I like it. It's so much fun. Are you raising it by 300 gold? I hate you so much. Oh, I'm so mad. Tier, Caulfields, and Longsword. Okay, I guess, actually, no, I like that. The stats are unchanged. That's awful. Actually, the gold is unchanged. I wonder if it actually doesn't change the stats. But anyway, you're actually getting more from the all, though. So, okay, I'm fine with this. I'm probably still going to build it on champions that I like having the extra mana on. It's good. Mana Immune's good. But don't nerf it again, please, because this item is really fun to use. So, Mana Immune. Shock AD from Mana. Oh, it doesn't hurt as much. Never mind, it's worse. Oh, okay, no. Okay, this is... Wait. And 1025. Okay, this may change like that's what Corky said. Okay, okay. So that means that now you can build Mirror Mana on mixed champions, I think. I don't think you should build it on mages still. Shock is nice, but I still think that generally on mages you're probably just going to want to be building Mirror Mana. Or not Mirror Mana. If you want a mana item, you should go Archangels. Or Ludens, like a real person. But I don't think that here... I don't think this is bad for champions, again, like Ezreal and Corki in particular, who are two of the, like... They're two of the champions around whom this item really should be balanced, because they're the two primary users of it. Everybody else is kind of just tagging on, but this item is really, like, almost designed for those two champions. So, I think this is fine. I mean, you're going to see... It's probably going to be better on some champions. It's going to be worse on others. It's probably going to be worse on champions like Varus, who weren't really doing hybrid damage. I can't think of any other champions that do hybrid that this could maybe be decent on. Maybe try it on... No, I feel like Azir Sand Soldiers only do magic damage. Interesting change. I want to do some research and see what other champions might be able to use the shock the shock passive. But we'll see. Okay, Runaan's 80, no AD. Yeah, dude. Runaan's cost so much. Okay, so there's 0 AD on it. The bolts are just a flat 40%, so it's still going to be an on-hit item, which is fine because almost nobody's building a lot of AD and then also a Runaan's except like maybe Twitch. Let's see. Pickaxe, Zeal, Dagger. Dagger, Zeal, Dagger, and 850. Oh, it feels so good. That's so much better, dude. Bro, did it just went down by 900 gold? Dude, I'm playing Twitch again next patch. Let's fucking go. Yes, please. Dude. 80 Twitch is back? Question mark. I'm so excited. This is so good. Thank you. This is my favorite change of the whole freaking patch. Okay. Shirelia's. Shirelia's has been trending weaker than... I like Shirelia's, but that's just because I like to go into ARAM and build all of the speed items. So yeah, Shirelia's needs to be better. I don't know if the extra 20% movement speed is going to be good, but I'm definitely super down to see what it translates to. And I'm also super down to buy Shirelia's and go 20% faster. On Hecarim and Nunu and Aram. But besides that, I don't really have anything to say about it. It's probably still going to be the weakest of the support ones. So, we'll see where this goes. Burst items. Screw all of this. I hate all except that one. But even actually really that one. I don't like the amount of burst in the game right now. This is what I was hoping to see. Just general burst damage is really high. This is this is what I'm saying. It's like the champions are fine. Like we can get tweaks here and there, but the new items are what really need tweaked a lot. Everybody just explodes unless they're a tank in the game right now, and it's not. It makes playing somebody like an AD carry really not fun. That's why I've been finding success on like bruiser supports right now, because the game is so centered around just not letting yourself die to the engaging assassin. So this is good. I'm going to be sad to see some of this go. Except they didn't nerf Eclipse, so I guess the things that I like to play aren't getting nerfed. But other than that, I think that this is all really good. So, like, Duskblade, Night Stalker damage, 65 plus 25% bonus AD from 100. So you're losing some AD and some just flat damage as well. Attack damage. You do get more stats from it. I wonder if that helps, like, balance out the AD early. Okay. Sure. I mean, this is fine, I think. That's a good nerf overall. Duskblade is really irritating and is probably one of the strongest items in the game. The fact that it gives you the 5 free stats, the 5 free CDR, I'm going to say CDR, ability haste, is really hard to deal with right now, because it means that pretty much you can go Duskblade, Lucidity Boots, and Yumu's, and still be really fast, get all your roams, and then also you're still getting 5 ability haste on the Yumu's. I think the entire balance of Yuumu's right now is the fact that it doesn't give you ability haste, but with Lucidity Boots and Duskblade, it may as well. So, Prowler's Claw. The item is actually not super crazy on a lot of champions, but on the ones that it's really good on, it's really good. Rek'Sai and Pyke with Prowler's Claw feel really hard to play against and really like strong. So again, same. I think it's the same idea where you're just doing less damage with the active on it. You get more ability haste on it, so I think they're making the item better, but the active worse. So I'm fine with this. Rocket Belt. AP going up. Health going up. Burst going very down. So again, yeah. That's what we're seeing here, I think. So ability. So yeah, you're getting more stats across the board on these. Well, okay. On the ones where like it's necessary. So like Soul Rend is going down. It's capped at the base amount. Vespertide. Yeah. Okay. So I'll break all this down here in a second. I'm just making sure. Okay, so Trinity Force is kind of unique amongst these, actually, where it looks like it's just getting... So the AD is going down, but the ability haste is going up. It's going to feel actually pretty good. That's a trade-off that I would like to have. I like doing more things in League in general, so more ability haste for loss of burst is good for me, but I understand why people are probably going to be upset about... people who like the burst are probably going to be upset about this stuff, but I'm fine with it. Eclipse is my favorite item, because it lets me fight longer, so that's why. Gore Drinker. Honestly, this is the more important part of this, and it should have been separated. Gore Drinker heals for way too much. I've picked up Olaf this patch and a couple other champions just because I can build Gore Drinker on them and just win fights for free. Ignite or not. 25% AD plus 12%, 20%. Wait, it heals more? It heals more? I hate you. No. Never mind. This is the worst patch notes. I don't care about Runaan's. Worst patch notes. Nerf Gore Drinker heal. Fuck that. This is terrible. Oh my gosh. No. It's so stupid already. Stop that. Lord. Okay, Stridebreaker. Yeah, just... Wait, Stridebreaker got... Okay, so Stridebreaker kind of got a combination of both sets of nerfs. It has the Trinity Force AD and ability haste changes, but then it also deals less damage on the active. So this is fine. Grievous Wounds. System healing sources have seen on the strong side. Putting a systematic... Pulling a systematic AD healing lever. That's good. That's good. Grievous Wounds needs to be better because healing is tremendous right now. Healing is tremendous right now. So I'm glad to see that go away. Lifesteal clarification. Incorrectly indicated that lifesteal now works on physical damage on hit effects. To correct the record, when it comes to added damage on attacks, lifesteal applies to all effects labeled as on hit. Currently, this is only found on items, not champions. Okay. So it looks like it's going to be, there's going to be like a tooltip or something. But pretty much things like Bork and stuff should also, you're going to get lifesteal from Bork's percent health damage and stuff. Assuming that it still has that. Things like that. The old Bork percent health. No champions have on-hit effects that count, I think. So that means that like Kog'Maw W doesn't count and stuff like that, from what I can tell. Oh, you'll heal from Sheen. There we go. Yeah, you'll heal from Sheen damage on lifesteal. And chat. Okay. Don't care. These are all awesome skins, and I'm super down. I thought for sure that Warden Quinn was Kale though. It just looks like Kale. But otherwise, these are all awesome skins. They all fit, especially Marauder Kled. This is the best one. This is the best. Who gave Khaled a laser gun? This is what I need to know. So let's take it from the top. My eyes. Let's say from the top. Do our quick fast and in a hurry cover on this patch, and then we will go from there. So Fiddlesticks. His W is going to get cast less than jungle. Overall, I don't think the change really matters all that much. Gnar, this is a really good change, moving Gnar in the right direction. I don't know if it's going to make him more viable in the meta, but I do know that it's a step in the right direction for Gnar, and I'm hoping to see him more because of it. Karma, I don't like this champion, but I also don't know if this change is actually going to be all that impactful. We'll see. Yi, this is a really good nerf overall to the way that Yi functions in the middle elos, like in the silver to gold elos. So I'm looking forward to seeing less of him in the hands of like just your average player. I'm looking forward to seeing him more so again become like a niche hyper carry pick. Pantheon, overall, this is just touching him up to make him less ubiquitous of a pick. That's fine. Champion is still probably really strong and is going to be really good as a mid laner, top laner, and jungler. Less a jungler, more as a mid and top. Kiana, a step in the right direction. The champion still has too much going on for your average player to player. And also is going to get dumpstered on if she's not well understood in mid. But overall, I think that the changes are nice quality of life thing to help her survive. So that's fine. Rise Q doesn't really matter at all. Xayah E. I'm hoping that this matters because I think it'd be really neat if it does. So, yeah, especially since it has to do like essence and stuff. So I'm hoping that this means that she gets to itemize differently and she gets to play around with things differently. I'm hoping that it also means that in some matchups she can just max W. So we will find out. Yasuo and Yone, this is good. I don't think that they needed buffs or anything, but I think that it kind of felt really weird. Especially I play a little bit of Yone, not as much of Yasuo, but it felt really weird to try to itemize on the champions because of how the new crit items worked. I didn't like being forced into building 3 of them if I want full crit, because the whole point of the new item system was to allow for flexibility in builds. This does not give you any of that. Overall, okay, items. Archangel's Staff is still trash, overall. Ionian Boots, still a decent option, but better than it was, and champions who like them more. Manamune, I don't like the change, but I think it was necessary overall. Same for Mirror Mana. I think that this is necessary overall because it was very often just really good to build it. I was building it on every AD carry that I played second. So, yeah, overall, good idea. I'm hoping that it doesn't hurt too much in execution because I'm probably still going to build it a lot. Runaans. This is my favorite change on the patch. I really like Runaans. Runaans is super fun to use for me. Making it a less powerful item is fine because I'm really buying it for access to the passive as a whole anyway. I like being able to go on Twitch, Infinity Edge Runaans into full AD, and just kind of do my thing. So I'm glad to see this. I don't know how much it's going to actually impact, but I do think that it's going to get built a lot more by champions who like Runaans, and this is going to help champions like Kog'Maw, who didn't care about the AD that this thing had anyway, because that means that now Kog'Maw is going to have access to champions like Kog'Maw and maybe like on Varus and things like that. They're going to get more access to the item, and I think that's going to be good overall. It's going to help accelerate their build and everything. Shurelya's is still a bad item unless you're me and just want to go fast, and in which case buy it because you'll go fast. Burst items overall, this entire thing is great. So what generally happened in these, and I said I was going to get to it, is the burst damage, direct burst damage of the items has gone very down. As far as like the actives, so your actives or your mythic passives, like the mythic active or passive, has generally gone down, and then the stats have gone up to compensate. The exceptions to that are really Trinity Force and Stridebreaker, where they just had some stat adjustments to let you do more things, like cast more spells. You're getting more CDR, more ability haste, in return for hurting less with each thing that you do, like per thing, which I think is a fair trade. I think that overall this set of changes is great. However, this item needs nerfed because Gore Drinker is really strong. The healing that you get from that item is really irritating. Obviously it's super silly and fun to use, but I think that overall it's a balance problem, and I'm hoping to see more nerfs to Gore Drinker down the line. But right now, I understand we're in early season. Let's let it sit and see if people can come up with a way to do it. And also, this change might matter more now because now we have 3 seconds where Grievous Wounds. If you smack somebody with your smash somebody with an auto and then Gore who has like Thornmail and then Gore Drinker, you're not going to get a big heal. So maybe that matters. Maybe this matters more than I think it does. But overall, I think that this is great. Final thing is the Grievous Wounds change. I think that the Grievous Wounds overall, this is a really good idea. I would like to just see Grievous Wounds be generally more effective. But overall, as far as like cutting more healing, but overall, I think that this is a step in the right direction. I'm hoping that this 1 extra second in fights of reduced healing matters. I do know it's going to matter in the case of ARAM when you get like queued by somebody who has an Oblivion Orb and then can't heal off of like health packs or something anymore, but I don't know how it's going to change normal Summoner's Rift as much. So overall, interesting patch, less changes than I was hoping for, but overall good changes. I'm really happy about the item changes in general. Some of the power shifts I don't really see where they're coming from, especially the Manamune. I was seeing a lot of it, but I don't know for sure. Shirelia's and Archangels in particular were disappointing. On the whole, decent patch. Small changes to champions, large changes to items. That's how it needs to be for the majority of the season, probably. I'm happy with it. So, thank you very much for tuning in. In 2 weeks, we'll be looking at patch 11.2. But for now, I'm just really looking forward to seeing how this one turns out. Thank you very much for watching. If you're looking forward to seeing more content like this, maybe more podcasts, maybe just sit down and talk about champions regardless, subscribe, like, and comment. Tell me what you want to see more from me. I'm looking forward to getting back into this. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.